Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Osoyoos Town Council Committee of the Whole meeting, Monday, May the 2nd, 2016 at 9 a.m. in Council Chambers. And we do not have any introduction of late items, but before we have our delegations, I would just like to point out to everyone that sitting in front of us is a banner which says "Thank you, Osoyoos," and has 200 names on it. People that have signed, a lot of kids that from the high school, a lot of citizens from the town of Osoyoos who are just saying thank you to everybody in Osoyoos for their support in trying to keep our high school open. So Councillor King and Councillor Campbell and I went up the other day to the high school OSS and were provided this banner, and we have it here so that everybody in the town can have a look at it, and we say thank you to everybody, and in particular the students who were so gracious about it and came up with this idea. And we just can't say thank you enough to them as well. So enjoy this. It will be at the front of our desks here all day, and then we will find a place to store it or put it up. And I'm not quite sure. I don't think maybe the Sonora Center will put it up there for a while. So thank you to everybody, and well done, Osoyoos, all the businesses, the students, the parents, the residents who have worked so tirelessly for the last several months to try and keep it open. And we haven't stopped. We're going to continue to see what we can do to help this community and to work forward. So thank you. The first delegation, a motion to accept the agenda. Thank you. Councillor King, Councillor Youngberg, all in favor. Our first delegation today is Carol Chan, who's the Manager of Conservation and Energy Management Group from Fortis, BC, and she's going to come and talk to us about residential assistance and rebate programs. Welcome. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Yes, well, you probably know, as part of our efficiency and conservation group, we provide rebates and incentives to encourage sort of all folks to make energy efficiencies to their homes or their businesses. And today I just wanted to talk a little bit about the programs, but particular one new program that I think has particular impact and I think really important to our customers in the south, the Okanagan, Similkameen. Yes, we do have 17 programs, in terms of rebates, etc. And then, of course, I just want to talk about the two programs, very specifically the conservation program. I guess before I start, though, we're asked all the time, like, why do you give rebates? You're a company, don't you want to be selling more of your product? And yes, we do want to sell all of our electricity, but we don't want to be having to buy more from the open market. We also don't want to be having to build more dams, more infrastructure, power lines, etc. So really, to have programs like this, it is a community. I think it helps all of our community. It helps individual homeowners as well, or our businesses, to just reduce their costs. So that's really, I think, why we do this. And also, of course, we're a regulated utility, and there's a requirement. But I think it's also, real community-based reason as well. The Energy Conservation Assistance Program, or we affectionately call it ECAP. It's probably different than anything else that we've ever done. It is what we call a direct installation, so there's absolutely no cost to the participants at all. We do all the work. We take all the risk. We do everything. Especially for low income, often, there just isn't the capacity. They don't have the capital to do it. They don't understand perhaps how to do it. So we just take everything on. Essentially what it is, say who is eligible. It's basically any household that's above the 30% above the low income cutoff, That's quite generous, but of course we live in BC where the cost of living might be higher than the rest of Canada. So essentially a household of four, if the household of those folks over the age of 18 with less than $59,000, $400, or a household of two, 39.8. So it's quite generous. I know other communities have said that perhaps a large percentage of their community would be eligible. What we do, we will go into the home. We do, the very first thing we do is an energy evaluation of the home. We do it with the homeowner. As we go through, we sort of really discuss all the things, like everything from, if you use cold water wash, you'd probably could save $60 to $80 a year. If you hung your clothes to dry, you'd save $80 to $150 a year. Turn your TV off, $5 a month. So they do all of that. At the same time, they look at the installation levels, the age of equipment like furnaces, refrigerators, and while they're there, we do install those sort of one-time or those instant kind of savings. So we do 5 LED and up to 15 CFL, so energy efficient lighting. We do low-flow shower heads, kitchen tap aerators. By the way, these are all best of quality. We have almost unanimous people say this is way better than we ever had before. That includes the low-flow shower heads. And you might say, well, why shower heads? But again, 1/3 of the heat of the power or energy used in the home is to heat water. So if we can, what we do with these low-flow shower heads is actually inject more air into it, so you still have good water pressure and you still have good. You can rinse the cream rinse out of your hair quite easily, but you use less water. And we do basic draft proofing, and of course we provide the advice. What the energy efficiency, but at the same time, what the evaluator has looked at, if we see either refrigerators that are sort of 17, 18, whatever years or older, bad shape, we will replace them at, again, no charge. We will also, I mentioned insulation, but we'll do insulation in the crawl space, basement, walls, ceilings, again at no charge. And the last part, of course, we will also do gas furnaces, and of course to ensure that we have good healthy air. We also do very very expensive bathroom fans that work automatically to make sure we have proper air exchange in the homes. And so what does that sort of mean? Basically, the value of these assessments, anywhere in that $500 range upwards, depending if we do everything in the home, it could well be in the $8,000 to $9,000 range. What do households expect to save? I mean, with the basic measures, just the direct install, probably $150 a year. And then, of course, if they change their behaviors, it could well be more than that. And anywhere from $300 to $500 plus if we do the whole home update. How to apply? It's really very simple. We have an online application form. You just fill it in. We do have to provide proof of income, but again, that is just your notice of assessment. Scratch everything or black everything out except for your name and line 150, and it's really that simple. We also have, we can mail it to us as well. And I'll just mention right now, Linda Larson's office is actually starting today doing meeting with seniors, low income and fixed income seniors right across the service territory, and we'll be, of course, promoting this program. Our goals, this program has been very popular. We originally had thought, and this was, BC Hydro's had this program in market for a couple of years, and we really mirrored a lot of the elements just to make sure it's consistent right across the province. But based on their participation, we thought we might do 250 homes in our first year, and we reached that level in February. So we've upped our targets for 750 single-family homes and 1,500 apartment buildings. And my apologies, I sent the wrong applicant. It's not Oliver, but actually Osoyoos is even not as good. We only have two. As of last week, we only had 2 applicants from Osoyoos, and we think that there's probably more low-income, fixed-income folks here, and we obviously want everyone to participate. And so that's actually part of the reason why I'm here, because we do know that, I'll just say, often with low-income households, there may be trust issues or maybe low comprehension. So I know even with the advertising we've done, we haven't had the response from this community, and that's why going to local governments and where we have community leaders that perhaps can say, you know, this is a real program, and this is a really good deal, which is why I wanted to do a presentation here. And the second part, of course, we're trying to work very closely with service providers, and I've met with, I think, most of them now in South Okanagan, and hopefully they can help us get the word out as well. The other program here, and I don't know, do you have apartment buildings here with more than 9 units?
Carol? Yeah,
Two, okay. Because we, again, this is for market apartment buildings. I should try and find out who these buildings are, let them know. But again, we will do the same thing. We'll go into the suites. We'll do the low-flow shower heads, the lighting, etc. We'll make all those upgrades, and again, at no cost. We'll also, in the common areas, provide an energy evaluation and assistance to help them maybe upgrade to a new boiler system or new lighting. And that's pretty much it. I think that's... oh, yeah. I'll also just mention this program, whether it's single-family homes, it's whether that people, if they're owners or renters. So it really doesn't matter, as long as, if say, the renter gets approval from the owner of the house or the apartment building that we just need that signed off approval. But so far, I don't think we've had any owner say no. So. And then I just want to lastly just mention the programs we have. We do have programs to help homeowners who are not low income make improvements to their home for insulation, heating, air conditioning, etc. We have kits that we send out, and of course rebates for hot water tanks, appliances, and so forth. And we're trying to make those as easy as possible. So even if you go to the, not sure we have an appliance store here, and so if you go to the appliance stores, you'll be able to get the rebates right when you go there. Okay. So, and the information there as well. And of course, I would say we do have programs for businesses, and we do have a new program that's just being launched right now. You'll probably hear more about it. Again, for small businesses, again, we will pay up to 50% of the improvements, and they get the instant rebate, so they don't have to make the application form. So make it as easy as possible. And that's.
Well, thank you very much. It certainly sounds like a very good program, and I'm quite surprised that you can offer this free of charge. Our rates are going up. Is that the trick here? I remember, well, maybe it was about 10 years, no less than that, I decided that it would be a good idea to get a new furnace. So that was a cost to me, of course, but I did apply to the installer who filled in a form for me, or I did, and it was sent back, and I got a little bit of a rebate, which was worth it. So it seems to me that there was a cost to having somebody come in and do an audit at one time. So that is not the case now. If you qualify, the audit is done for free?
That's correct. Yeah, if you have that below that low income cutoff, that audit is for free. If you are able to pay, yes, there still is a cost. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, well, thank you very much. I'll just see if Council has any questions. Councillor Rhodes.
Thank you, Mayor McCordoff. Just a quick question. When they're doing the audit or the evaluation of it and they go into people's attics to do that part of it, what if there's unfriendly material up there? Is there, say, an asbestos environment or something?
They absolutely, that's part of things that they are looking for. It could be mold, it could be, and in those cases, we let the homeowner know, and we don't proceed until it has been cleared away, or yeah. And we do have some would say probably too strict requirements, but we just, again, in terms of risk, want to making sure that we maintain the health and safety of the home, the house, and their homeowners. So yeah.
Okay. Thanks.
Thank you. Did anyone else have a question? Yeah. Councillor Youngberg.
Thank you, Mayor Makota. Just a suggestion, because I'm in the rental housing business, and so I'm thinking maybe we have to figure out a way to get it into the mailboxes of all those apartment owners in town.
Who could I speak to?
Pardon?
Who could I speak to so I could find out how to do that? Because we would do that, absolutely.
Yeah, I'll just email you and see if I can get some contacts in the units, because I think this is a great program. Yeah, I think it will help
Yes.
many people.
Thanks, Jim.
Thank
You
you.
need to speak into your mic, Carol.
Oh, sorry. I've said it.
Thank you.
Anyways, for sure, I'll email you. Yeah.
Is there anything that can be done with, like, I'm thinking town hall? Is that a program that you do in places like this as well, or is it I don't know.
I don't know that we're considered a business
Okay.
or a residence.
But are we considered, would it be appropriate to even think about?
We're under the,
For City Hall, whatever, that would fall under a different program, but we do have programs for community organizations and communities and so forth. Absolutely, yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
maybe we can get air conditioning here.
Well, thank you very much. We do appreciate that. This is on Granicus, and so it's quite possible that there will be people listening to this. So we hope to get this out so that you will get some more customers. So thank you very much
Thank you
for
very
coming
much.
today.
Thank you.
Okay. So this will be accepted for information? Yeah, good. Okay, next is, our next delegation is from Destination Osoyoos.
Is that mic turned on?
And so we think, it's the new president.
Sure.
Chair, president, same thing.
Yeah, same.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good morning.
Morning.
See, Mike's not with us, but that's okay. He's completely up to speed on this. I am very pleased to be here this morning, not just as the new chair, but we have some exciting changes, which I think you're all aware of anyway. I know you met Kelly this morning already. But first of all, I wanted to introduce our new executive director, Kelly Glazer. She's from Vancouver Island. Today's officially her first day, baptism by fire. Got a lot of work for her to do. There she is right there.
Welcome, Kelly.
Yes. And also wanted to present personally, not just by email, the last action items for both the Regional Tourism Marketing Plan as well as the ECDF fee-for-service agreement. And I'll let our respective chairs address that. Who wants to go first? Martin, all right. Under new governance structure, we're trying to push a lot of the work of the organization off to these two of four committees, standing committees that we have. Martin chairs is one of the town appointees to the board, and he's chairing the ECDF committee. And I think you've received a lot of the we'll call them backwards looking, like the report, what we've done in the past, and this is more of the looking forward. So, Martin, come on.
Morning, everybody.
Good morning. Thank you.
I'll just pass around. This is the current draft of the action plan that's going forward. You'll be getting a formal copy very shortly, but just so you have that. This is the Economic Development Action Plan. I want to be quite brief this morning, and I'm sure you want me to be quite brief too. There are 3 points that I think I'd like to make with respect to the economic development side of Destination Osoyoos' work. 3 principles, if you will. And the first is that we want to emphasize collaboration, cooperation, coordination with the town. Clearly, there are responsibilities on both sides of the park, if you will. In terms of economic development, for a small town, we don't have the resources, the people, the time to be tripping over each other. So it's critically important that we communicate well, that we coordinate things well, we know what each other is doing, and work to support each other. So that's one of the key objectives of this, and that we align those objectives. The second, and this is really something that has come over the past year, is that we want to ensure that we're distinguishing in Destination Osoyoos the tourism marketing function, which of course is the historic function of Destination Osoyoos, and the economic development function, which is quite clear under the agreement that we have with the town. So that's one of the reasons that we have now a separate committee, Economic Development Committee, as well as the Tourism Marketing Committee that Don will speak to in a moment. But a separate committee that really takes on those responsibilities, those functions, those priorities, and can report on them, can communicate them in a separate way to you folks and to other stakeholders. In the past, when the two were together, they tended to be kind of mushed together, and we weren't able really to communicate well what was tourism marketing and what was broader economic development. So that's another objective that we've got, and this action plan, as I say, it's strictly a draft right now, but it captures what we're trying to do in terms of economic development. I will say clearly, because tourism is the biggest economic driver in the community, there's links between the two. We can't avoid that. In fact, we have to build on that, recognize that. But the economic development function is broader. It's here we're talking about the broader economic development, community economic development of Osoyoos. And the third thing that we're going to emphasize is results. We want to be able to communicate those results, first of all, achieve those results, but then communicate them clearly so you folks can also communicate them to your constituency. I think that's going to be really important. In the draft that you've got, we've got a whole series of key performance indicators, and we'll be reporting those to you. In some ways, those are just numbers. There has to be a story behind them. We'll give you that story as well and allow you to see exactly what Destination Osoyoos is doing in terms of economic development, but also what we're doing in collaboration with you folks in that regard. Rob will touch on this again, but one of our priorities for Destination Osoyoos is the communication with Town Council and being sure that we're always on the same page. We're not tripping over each other, as I said before, and moving forward in a certain amount of harmony, if I could call it that. I'll leave it at that. I won't go into the action plan itself. We'll provide the final version to you very soon, and that'll provide the details. But it builds out of the agreement that we have with you folks for economic development, the responsibilities that you've given to Destination Osoyoos, and that should make a lot of sense. But we are starting to get into the detail there. Perhaps I'll turn it over to Dawn, and then we can, between the three of us, answer any questions you might have.
Good. Thank you very much. I would certainly appreciate the fact that the communication is open, and we hope to see more of you here.
Oh, thanks.
Pass that around. Thank you, everyone.
Morning.
Morning. So, yeah, I'm no longer the chair. Thank you, everybody.
You did it for a long time, Dawn, and you did a great job, so thank you.
But I am chairing the Tourism Marketing Committee. As Rob had mentioned, our structure is very specifically now we've downloaded our rolling up the sleeves to the marketing committee and the economic development committee. The committee, we formed the committee just after the AGM a couple of weeks ago, and I've been off to Las Vegas and then dealt with my owner's weekend all this week. So I didn't get a chance to meet with the new committee until at all yet, but I do know who they all are, and I'll point that out. So Darlene Richards, our marketing manager, the paid marketing director for Destination Osoyoos, myself, Paul Scanlon from Watermark, Peter Bushkin from the Safari Beach Resort, and Lee Sapatch from the golf course. So we are the committee, and it's not a closed committee. It's open to anybody that would like to chime in. I'm not going to just read through the plan verbatim, but wanted to show the layout, what we've got as activities and tasks over the next 5 years in this 5-year plan. What are the high priorities, the medium priorities, and the low priorities? Basically, it's working with the town, collecting the information that's required for the reporting for the 2 programs, MRDT and RMIF. Dealing with the visitor center and our tactic to deal with that aspect. We're hoping to have something come very shortly that will relieve our office space of providing the visitor center services and the concierge services, but I don't want to say exactly that until we know what's exactly going to happen. But in the meantime, we're still providing those visitor services out of our location. We will again, which is a constant, review our website and our social media management and the associated web pages with that. Make sure that they're current, that we're using best practices, we're being as creative and vibrant as we can. Again, we will partner with the local businesses like the Osoyoos Times for our visitor guide. The fostering of events and marketing of events and financial support to various events and festivals at the times of the year that we truly need them. Oysterfest is one of those, and it is a very successful event in the fact that it's got its own legs now. People are aware, looking forward to, and planning for that event. And it's a springtime event. It's the timing of it is just now prior to the spring wine festival. Maybe there's opportunity in the future to try to maybe closer align that, but we're in the middle of the spring wine festival right now, and there's not too many people that even know that. I've been to a couple of the events up the valley, and that's one of the reasons we got Oysterfest started, and it was because there was nothing happening in the south end of the valley for the Spring Wine Fest, the WestJet tastings, and that's Penticton and Kelowna, and the varietal awards, that all happens up there. And I just had my owners for my hotel here this last weekend, and not one of them realized it was the wine festival weekend or week. So I'm very proud of what Oysterfest is doing. The draw is from up valley more than the coast or Fraser Valley, so it's good. The Kelowna, Vernon, they are target markets for us in our shoulder seasons. Those people are coming down for a weekend. It's easier to drive down to Osoyoos and stay in some decent accommodation and get some good food and see some wineries than it is to drive down to Vancouver for a weekend. So I'm seeing a lot of that in my business. Where our aim is to strengthen our partnerships and relationships and new partnerships with the town, RUS, Incomeep at Spirit Ridge, the winery associations, the new Spirit Ridge Owners Association. That's new territory for us all. The maintaining of our current markets, the destination weddings, the Chinese tourism, the wintering snowbirds were sort of a maintain priority as opposed to really putting a lot of time and effort to drive more. There's not too many more places for the snowbirds to stay So we've got to be careful there, and what I think we really need to be focusing on is the experience now here in Osoyoos over the winter for these snowbirds, so that they do go back with great stories and great experiences. It's a new generation of snowbird that's coming. It's the baby boomers that are turning 70. They're not the Depression era children that keep their purse strings close to their chest and dream about things but don't do them. This new generation is very apt to purchase what they find amenable to them. So it's something that that our businesses in town, I know previously, older generation was there was animosity when we used to do the Showcase Osoyoos in February up at the Sonora Center. That grew to a lot of the businesses saying they didn't want to get involved. That market segment wasn't patronizing their businesses, and they didn't feel that they needed to pay any attention to them. This new generation, they're looking for places to shop, they're looking for places to eat, looking for places to experience things. One of the other things, the final thing here on the list is the one events calendar. It's a low priority, but not that low that not important, but a challenge, a huge challenge nonetheless, to try to coordinate all that information and get it onto one page. Inevitably, somebody gets missed or somebody doesn't pay attention, and we don't get it. But it's something we're working on. The performance measurements for our plan, we're looking at percentage changes year over year in visitors to our website and our specific tourism-related pages and social media. The year-over-year changes in visitors and transactions through the Osoyoos Visitor Center. The change year-over-year in snowbirds wintering in Osoyoos. The numbers of weddings, the attendance of events and festivals, and the numbers of partnerships and leveraging funding amounts related to the events and the festivals, etc. Our FAM tours, our visitor guide, and the estimates of income generated and employment supported by our visitor expenditures. This is draft, but it's trying to be succinct, and the minute details, those are in our operating budget. So, got any questions?
Thank you very much. And I understand that the Oysterfest, I think I was up in Kelowna for most of it, so I missed it, but I understand it was a sellout. So obviously you guys are doing a great job of getting that on the agenda. So thank you.
More awareness, the better.
Good. Thank you. Rob.
So yeah, as both Don and Martin mentioned, it's a draft, but we're hoping it's the final draft. We look forward to your feedback, yours especially, Barry, so we can get this signed off and move on. I think both gentlemen touched on the fact that there's this crossover between ECDEV and tourism, and we're trying very hard to identify things that are purely one or purely the other, but in a lot of cases they're just inextricably tied. And Don mentioned the best example I can think of is the new snowbirds. So you can sort of think of that as tourism, except that they're not going stand-up paddling. It's the winter. We do want to deliver on that exceptional experience, and that's kind of tied more to downtown Rebate. It's the staying open longer, making sure that we're delivering on this promise that's on the wall behind you, and it behooves all of us to buy into. That's not just us. It's
Everybody.
It's every single person that lives here. So I'm very excited about. Despite some challenges, and I'm looking at this banner that's sitting in front of you, Sue, which actually breaks my heart every time I'm looking down at it. But heads up, chin up. We'll address this and other issues and deliver on that promise behind you.
Yep.
So, do you folks have any questions for, I know we just got a look at it.
We just got
but-
this, so I
yeah.
think we have been slightly busy with a couple other things that are on the agenda. However, we do appreciate getting both of these documents, and we can certainly have a look at them, and if we have anything that we feel we need to comment on, we certainly will. Is there anybody that would like to? Councillor Rhodes.
Thanks, Rob. Glad to see you all here, and the information is good. Just one quick comment. I've ranted and raved about the shop local thing, but every time I get a chance, I also talk about business retention, and I know that's been identified in this report. So, thank you very much for doing that. It's not always about the new businesses; it's about the older ones and how you retain them and encourage and help them to be better businesses in our community. And, it's a struggle for businesses, even at best, and our increase in snowbirds has definitely improved that, but it still is a struggle, and business retention is a very important thing. So thank you for identifying that in here. I know it's been identified before, but now it seems to be in the forefront of some of the better things that could happen. So thank you very much. From a councillor and a business owner in towns.
Yeah, I'd say you're welcome, as though we've delivered on something. Just identifying it is only part of the problem, and it's
Totally, yeah.
it's a line item on a plan. You and I both know there's other issues tied to it. The labor market, there's that. But then there's the housing for that labor market. It's all these issues that are tied together, which is that whole collaborative. Us working with you and with the businesses at large. So yeah, looking forward to that, CJ. I should say also, as you're looking over this, maybe I have some thoughts. I sort of skipped this when I was introducing Kelly earlier. You could expect a nice face-to-face visit from her. She's very much looking forward to meeting all of you one-on-one. I think you're going to see her doing sort of the business walk idea that we just completed, but on her own. So look forward to that. If that's it, I'll let you guys get on with the rest of your...
Oh, Councillor King.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I just want to say, as the rep on economic development, this might only look like a 3-page document, but it was actually hours of deliberation and debate to come up with the top priorities, so thank you very much.
Started out as 9 pages, I think, did it not?
Yeah.
It's been pared down. There's a lot of work.
Well, we're glad that you've got it down to a manageable amount. Councillor Youngberg.
Thanks, Mayor McCordoff. Good job, all of you. Just real detailed reports to us, and I'm really appreciative of the overview from economic development, particularly, and your tourism marketing. Warden, welcome, Kelly, to Osoyoos. I will be to visit you one of these days. So thank you, and I look forward to downtown Revite. I'm for Kelly's information business right on Main Street. So really looking forward to developing that. And one little inch of discussion the other day was that maybe we should look at opening at 10 and staying open till 6. Because there was some discussion. Everybody walks around and the stores aren't open after 5 o'clock. So it was interesting discussion, as we've had for a number of years. But
Be up to the
You never
businesses, won't it? Yeah,
That's
businesses need to get on board if that's
they do,
what the
that's
idea
right.
is.
So thank you
Yep.
again to all
Okay.
of you. Great.
Thank you.
Thank you to all of you for coming, and thank you, Kelly, for bringing them over. Bring them over again.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. The next thing that we have is a presentation by Sergeant Bosch and Corporal Beta. Would both of you like to come and sit up here?
Actually, Randy's going to do it. I think I'll just...
Okay. He always passes the buck to you, does he?
I'll take over the mic if I That's exactly what happens.
Well, can I just say thank you very much to both of you and the other gentleman that helped, Superintendent Hugo, for doing the presentation at the Sonora Center a couple of weeks ago. We really appreciated it. I think the town appreciated it, and they're certainly looking forward to the next section on internet and fraud, that type of thing. So several people have asked about it, and I said that's on the agenda.
Yeah, and we'll talk about that further.
Perfect. So thank you very much. Go ahead, Sergeant Bosch.
Okay, this is our quarterly report that we have out. I'm a little late with it, but we've been busy with the town forum and stuff like that, getting it out. I've got all the statistics up. So in the first quarter of 2016, we responded to 485 calls of service compared to 309 on the fourth quarter of 2015. That's an increase of 44%. Along with these calls of service, we've got 81 criminal code files, but had 128 in the same period in 2015, so we're down quite a bit. Drug trafficking files remain about the same as in 2016 compared to 2015. 24-hour suspensions are about the same to date. I've got a little bit more of a breakdown on the traffic end of it. I did bring the stats with me as far as South Okanagan Traffic Services. So, and actually they're doing a very good job. Their stats are looking really good for the year as far as IRPs and impaired drivings. Notable decrease in theft of vehicles. Show 7 this quarter, 18 the same quarter in 2015. Mischief, we're down, we got 10 this quarter and 21 from 2015, and 2 frauds this quarter, which is also a decrease from last year. All of our stats have decreased. Most of it's prolific offender related, which we have in custody at the present time. Let's see here. So basically, we'll be increasing targeted foot, boat, UTV, and bicycle patrols throughout the summer, and certainly the town donates us $10,000, and the province kicks in a certain amount too. Corporal Beta is already put notices out for people that want to come to Osoyoos from outlying areas to work shifts to do these patrols. And so far the response is pretty good. So we should be in good shape with that. Again, just to go back to traffic services, done through the South Okanagan, 3 impaired drivings, 6 ADPs, 9 24-hour suspensions, and a total of 38 contacts within the first quarter. And Citizens on Patrol, they're gearing up. I believe they're going to start doing increased patrols this month and throughout the summer.
You were asking for some more people to be part of that group. Did you get
yes,
some? Oh, good.
We did have several people come up, and I think we got 4 out of it, 4 volunteers. So we're good.
Well,
And here I am going to steal the mic
Steal the
now.
mic again.
well, he's good at that.
Yeah, he's awesome at it.
I just wanted to touch on this Citizens on Patrol. We've actually talked to a local business in town about getting some sponsorship or this business, Unity Clothing, is actually looking at getting some jackets for Citizens on Patrol.
Wow.
And partnering with another business in town to get some silk screening done on those jackets to say Citizens on Patrol, so we can get better visibility for those COPs when they're out doing their walks throughout town and on the beach. People will be able to approach them as they'll know who they are. So I think that's going to be a great asset to the Citizens on Patrol, and something more than we've had in the past. So just a little more to it.
And our bylaw officers, which we will approve later, are starting, and they have beautiful blue shirts with logos on them too. So that, and I don't know where that came from. That was town. provided that. Do you?
No,
I mean,
it's part of the contract. They have to supply their own clothing.
okay. Well, they've got nice new ones, and I think it'll be very noticeable too.
Yes.
And they'll be out very soon, helping you guys. And I know you help each other.
So that's it for our quarterly. The other thing, just to touch on it, I expect to do the fraud presentation somewhere around the end of May. We got to be careful about the long weekend. I don't want to kind of run into that for people leaving or coming. Oliver had theirs. They had approximately 60 people attend. I don't know if we're looking at the same numbers. It's always something that you never really know about. However, we would hope that, the media and stuff would, again, they did an awesome job with our town forum. It was really good. Even the write-up was very good. So I've heard a lot of good comments about it.
Absolutely, and we thank the Osoyoos Times for doing a good job with that too. I've heard lots of good things about it as well, so we really appreciate. Does anybody have any questions? Yeah, Councillor King.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I'm just curious about your traffic safety. This looks like it's just for 1 month, so I'm just wondering if you're going to bring it up.
You may have got 1 month, but I've got all 3 printed off here.
Oh, okay.
So it does go into
March?
March, yes. Okay. I've got January, February, March.
Oh, okay.
Certainly, I can leave this with you if you want to just print off copies of it so that everybody's got a good idea of what's happening out there.
That'd be fine. I just had one other question. Under other, we're the highest here in the whole district. I was curious, what does other mean?
Well, you know what? That's a good question. Are you talking B&E other?
No, I'm talking traffic.
Traffic safety.
Okay, traffic others would be like warnings and different things like that. Is usually what. So
Okay.
it's.
But you got warnings in that under a different list, so I'm just curious.
We're going to see if he can get himself out of this one.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Let's see. And there's no
Right-hand
distracted,
side there, Jay.
no distracted driving or speed for Osoyoos. That's a good thing.
It is, but
Means nobody was here
I
doing it.
think we've got to also realize that they target, like
Certain
they will
areas.
set up for
Yep.
just speeding, seatbelts, distracted driving
Sure.
on certain occasions,
Right.
and that's what they'll hit.
Just around the corner from Shoppers Drug
Yeah,
Mart.
yeah, that's one of the spots. Yes.
That's a favorite spot.
Yes. So other will be. Sorry.
Thank you.
Other will be basically any other Motor Vehicle Act violation or regulation that's not captured in those right now. So that could be something as simple as no front license plate, either a damaged headlight, very minor infractions that the officers are just putting onto there.
Councillor Rhodes.
Thank you, Member Kordoff. So I have a question and a quick comment. Way to go on the prolific offender thing. It just astounds me how 1 or 2 criminals can just impact the statistics that come out in both ways. When they're here, they go up, and when they're not here, they go down. It's incredible. One of the most common questions that I get regarding traffic in our community is speeding on Lakeshore Drive. And I'm wondering if there's anything in the plans to, kind of enforce that a little bit more, or we talked about some traffic calming devices or something at one of our previous meetings, and I'm wondering if anything has ever been done about that or anything that we can do.
Certainly, it was something that was brought up at the forum that I wanted to address. Right now, we have 2 brand new radar units on order. They shouldn't, they've been ordered about a month, so they should be here at any time to be installed in the vehicles. Also, with that, I've already told the guys, okay, you know, we're getting the new units. I think we need to repair one for sure. But with that, I want to see some tickets on the table. So they will be patrolling Lakeshore Drive. Also, I think with our COP, we have the radar for them to monitor. We'll probably be setting it up on there too, and going at it that way.
Good.
Carol,
So,
Councillor Youngberg.
Thanks. Thank you. It seems that those little flashing signs where the COPs stand, I noticed them in Oliver a couple of days ago where you're speeding, you know, and the speed is, certainly that has helped. In some cases, I know, around here, around the school zone. So looking forward to that. And great job. It's a tough job out there, and you're doing a fine job.
Thank you.
And being in the public eye is really important. Corporal Beta, do you remember the question that I asked at the forum was, are you allowed to cross the center line and pull in on the opposite side? So 2 days later, I'm driving down Main Street, and you said you never do it, and I get it. And I've never seen you do it.
I just said I never do it. I said, do you ever see me do it?
I've never seen you do it. But here's a new one that I saw. Somebody was pulling out. They backed right out across the line, went that way, and then pulled up the other side. And I thought, well, that I hadn't seen before. Fortunately, there was not a lot of traffic. But I thought, I got to tell you about that one.
Thank you. And we're going to try and get Randy out of his chair a little more and get out there and do some more traffic.
Perfect. I think that's a really good idea. Well, thank you very much. We always appreciate coming and filling us in on all of this, and we like to see all of these numbers go down. So I know that doesn't always happen, but thank you for being on top of the situation, and please, you know, next quarter we will see you back.
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. There's nothing else? Then we will, could I have a motion to adjourn the Cal meeting, please? Councillor King, Councillor Rhodes, all in favor. Thank you very much, everyone. We'll take 3 minutes before